Welcome back, everybody. Happy Sunday. You're listening to Whatever Works on KCAA 1050 AM and Express 106.5 FM. I'm your host, Sam Works.
I'm Kyle Kerrigan.
And we have a reoccurring guest. I know you wanted to jump in just now. I'll let you introduce yourself. Go ahead, jump in.
I'm Travis Matthews.
Travis Matthews is in the building once again. He's coming back year after year, day by day, guys. If you guys don't know who Travis Matthews is, you will tonight. He was an awesome guest last year. I can't believe it's been a year since you've been on here.
I know, dude. I was just thinking that the other day when Kyle hit me up. Dude, it really has been a year.
It's been a long time. Huh? Oh, okay. Yeah. He was here about a year ago, and he's a very solid, educated man. He knows what he's talking about, and a lot of our shows are, we're it's just talking about whatever works, but this one's very important. I know last week we had my VP in real estate, Ryan Lara, here. That was a good episode.
It was, yeah.
So if you guys want to go back and listen to Travis Matthews' first episode last year, you guys can always go back on Spotify,
YouTube,
Apple Music,
Farmers Only.
Farmers Only.
all that good stuff, and just look up KCA whatever works.
Yeah, KCA whatever works.
Yeah,
on everything.
We can go back to any of our previous shows. It's really awesome. So this particular segment is going to be a little different than we did last time when we had Travis, because Travis has been expanding. He's been doing different things, and it's gonna be a great show. So I'm super excited. So I want to jump into it, but before we jump into it, Kyle, you know what time it is.
SNJRadio.com. No negative news, no politics, just feel good music.
There you go. Feel good music.
Feel good music. And if you guys have any questions for Travis, you could always call in at 1-888-909-1050. That is 888-909-1050.
All right, Travis, so what brings you here tonight on a beautiful Sunday at KCAA?
Yeah.
I love hanging out with you guys, man.
Yeah.
I miss you guys.
Yeah.
No, just, over the last year, I kind of, I still do solar like last time, but I kind of moved into helping people with what I originally started doing in my career, which was roofing, and out here, insurance has become crazy in California.
Oh, dude, tell me about it. Dude, right now, I'm pretty sure there's 100 people that want to call in,
Yeah, like it's nuts now because all the insurance companies have started using scare tactics and, all kinds of, we're going to leave State Farm and Farmers, like we're going to leave California. Between the two of them, they cover 2/3 of California residents. They're not going anywhere. Farmers' headquarters is in California. They're not going anywhere.
Right.
You know what I mean? But everybody's like, my rates will go up. Oh, I don't want to file a claim because they'll drop me. Oh, I didn't even know I could use my insurance for that. Like, they think it's got to be a disaster, So, originally when I first started it, it's kind of hard. Like, you start everything out. It takes a little bit to get traction. But, once the homeowner realizes that you're not there to sell them anything, you're there to provide a service and get them what they're already entitled to get. Then it clicks, and they're like, yeah, let's get me a roof. Let's get my roof fixed because I have half my roof got tore off in the last windstorm, and I thought I was going to have to spend $20,000 on a roof. And I'm like, well, how long have you lived here? Well, I've lived here for 20 years. I'm like, great. So you paid $30-some thousand in insurance premiums already. You've paid for a roof.
Right.
Why go out of pocket for a roof when you've been putting that money away for it all this time? And they're like, well, I don't want my rates to go up. I'm like, well, it doesn't work like car insurance. Car insurance is different because car insurance is your record versus my record.
Yeah.
And Farmers versus Allstate versus Progressive, With home insurance, it's all controlled by the state. So if your rate went up, so did everybody else in your whole zip code, because that's how they do it. They have to ask. They have to ask the commission of the Department of Insurance, hey, can we have a rate increase in this zip code? And they either get told yes or no.
Right.
The last 4 years in a row, Allstate got told no.
Well, so basically what you're saying is we're all in this together.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, we're all in the same boat. Don't think because I file a claim on my home, my rate is going to go up. And one of the questions I usually ask people at the door to help them kind of figure it out on their own is, how long have you lived here? Well, I lived here 20 years. You ever file a claim? No. Well, how many times do you notice your rate going up? They're like, almost every year. See? Nothing to do with claims. It has nothing to do with it. You've never filed a claim, and it still goes up. So why not use it if you have it? Yeah. There's no point in having home insurance if you don't use it.
Okay.
Other than that, if you don't use it, it's just something the bank made you get.
I know.
spend
and they're-
more money,
Yes,
like-
and they're just taxing you at that point.
Exactly. Yeah, and then you got to come out of pocket and find some cheap roofer because everything's expensive in California. So you got to find some chuck in a truck roofer from down the corner to come put your roof on, and then he does a bad job, but there was no contract, there was no, scope of work. He just said, "Yeah, cool. This many squares, this much money. I'll do it over the weekend." And he shows up with 6 of his buddies in a truck with no name on it. Like, you don't want those people climbing on your roof. What if they fall? Do they have insurance? Like, you know, and it's a big, I don't know, fiasco. It usually turns into some nightmare for a homeowner, or a roofer, doesn't know how insurance works. So they're like, "Yeah, whatever the insurance paid, we'll do it for." Okay, well, the insurance gave me $2,000. Can you give me a roof for that? And they don't know how to make the insurance pay the rest of the money, and that's why, Evolve has, an on-staff public adjuster that we use. We have a public adjuster who basically does the exact same thing an insurance adjuster does, but for your side. Going up against the insurance company with no representative that knows, what your needs are and the rules on how to get them. It's like going to court without a lawyer. You're going to end up in jail or owing somebody a lot of money, So we make sure that the homeowner's needs are represented and that the insurance company pays what they're supposed to pay per that contract you signed. Because a policy is just a nice word for a contract.
Right.
Their side is anytime something happens to your home that's covered, we'll fix it, no problem, if you can get the money. Your side is anytime something happens to my home, I'll call you and let you know.
Yeah.
But then when people don't call, it makes you a negligent homeowner in the insurance eyes. So now, I had a leak in my ceiling for 2 years, but now it's caving in. I need my home insurance to cover it. Not going to cover it because you should have called when it first happened.
Right.
And that's the predicament they end up in, because if you had called about this damage when it happened 2 years ago, yeah, it would have been covered. But now that you didn't do your side, you didn't protect the home, you didn't call us to let us know this happened, you broke contract, essentially. You're a negligent homeowner.
Dang, that's crazy.
Now you lose your insurance and you get a black mark on your record. So then the next time you try to get insurance from Farmers or something, now they're like, "Yeah, we're not going to cover this person," because they're obviously not going to do their part.
They're not taking care of the home.
Exactly.
They're letting it
Yeah.
fall completely apart and then try to
Oh yeah, and then they try to put it on the home insurance.
try to
Exactly.
get a brand new house, basically. at the end of
Exactly.
the day.
Yeah. Oh, I need a new roof. Well, how old's
Well,
your
that's
roof?
fraud, pretty much.
Like,
so.
yeah, like well, your roof is 40 years old. The shingle's only meant to last 30. Like, what are you trying to do? Like, you should have replaced it 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So, and that's kind of, how I started was, knocking on doors, same way you do for any other door-to-door industry. And, once I got enough people helped, now you have all these roofs all over the place that have been done already. Now it's really just referrals, like I was just telling Kyle earlier, I haven't knocked a door in like a month, because the pipeline feeds itself now. My customer base is so happy with what I've done for them that they're calling all of their people and being like, "Hey man, I know you had that roof problem." Or their neighbor asked them, "Hey man, your roof looks great. Where'd you get your roof at? How much was your roof?" "Well, my roof cost me $1,000. Well, how's that possible?"
Right.
"Just my deductible. The wind ripped up my shingles. I paid my insurance deductible. The insurance paid the rest."
Right.
And that they're like, "Dude,
Weren't you worried about your rate going up?
yeah," like, and they're like, "Listen, man, just call Travis. He'll take care of you. You know what I mean? He knows what he's doing, and it doesn't hurt that my wife was an underwriter out here for Amica for 6 years. So
That's
so
right,
I
yeah.
know how policy works. I know how the insurance company's game works. So not only am I a roofing expert because I was a roofer forever, but I'm also an insurance claim expert because I know how the policy is written. I know exactly how to read between the lines, and I know how to get the people what they're supposed to get.
Okay.
So
There we go.
Hey, look at you, Travis. All right. Dude, that's really exciting because you're more than just like reading a book or like reading the pages. Like you've been in the industry before. You were a roofer before?
Yeah. For I did residential and commercial, union, non-union. I did it all between somebody's shingle roof or their tile roof to a Walmart with a big flat roof.
Right.
I've pretty much installed every type of roof there is. So for me to walk by a house, I can look at your house from the street before I even waste 30 seconds walking up your sidewalk to knock the door if I can get you a roof. And when I knock on the door, the only question I don't have answered in my mind is, do you own the home? If you're a renter, all right, cool, I got to talk to your landlord. But if you own the home, you have insurance. There's only like 2% of people that don't have insurance on their home.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Because they pay cash, huh?
yeah, or they own the home and they decided they didn't need it because they're not going to be there much longer. you know, and you know they're like, I'm 90. What am I gonna do if my house?
And
You know,
then
my-
as soon as I get off homeowner insurance, something happens to the house.
Yeah,
And they're like,
yeah.
I just had home insurance.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
well, you screwed
exactly.
up 'cause,
Yeah.
you know.
So, you know, most of the time, you know, when you knock a door for pest or cable or solar, you know, it's like, well, I don't know if I can help yet. I have to see your electric bill, or I have to see, you know, do you have a pest control company? Like, when I knock on your door for a roof, like, bro, I see the damage. I know if you own this home and you have insurance, I can get you a roof, period. That's
Yeah.
it. You know? And, you know, California is always changing building codes, right?
All the
Like,
time.
All the
every
time,
3,
yeah.
4,
All the
5
time.
years, they change all the whole building code
Yeah.
book, right?
Yeah.
So if your home now, after 2019, they came out with Title 24 that changes. If your home is older than your roof is built before 2019, all I need is one damaged shingle. You get the insurance to open coverage even a little bit. Now they're stuck on the hook for the whole roof because now you can't do it according to building codes. It won't pass inspection if I just patch it.
Right.
So now I don't care if you can find these shingles, I can't use them. So I have to do the whole roof. So
Yeah.
insurance adjusters don't like me. They don't like me at all.
No, I just
They're like,
dealt with
sir, it's
the-
Travis on the other line. I'm at lunch.
Yeah, like and
Yeah.
I actually had one try to tell me that he spoke to a building inspector who told him he wasn't going to enforce Title 24. I'm like, really? Because that's a state code. He has no choice but to cover that.
Yeah.
He has to enforce that. And I called that same inspector, and he laughed when I told him that. And he's like, I said that? I'm like, dude. He's like, I've never talked to this guy before. So, you know, and so when I talked to the adjuster, and I was like, bro, your roofer's a liar, and so are you. I was like, there's no way he said that, because I just talked to him 5 minutes ago. I just called you after I hung the phone up with him, and he told me he never heard from you.
Yeah.
So, and then he called the office and was like, I don't want to talk to him anymore. I'll only talk to the public adjuster.
Jeez.
So, because he said rude things to me. I go, why? Because I called you on your BS? Like,
Yeah.
like, you tried to lie to me to get a homeowner not taken care of, and I made you do it. So now you don't like me. That's fine.
Why wouldn't they want to take care of the homeowner? Is it because they would rather like take the money and not?
Well, yeah,
You know,
because I mean,
take their
when you think about it, all the insurance companies are publicly traded, right? So they have a fiduciary duty to make more money this year than they did last year because they got
Yeah.
shareholders and profit margins.
Facts.
The only way for them to get profit is after they take your premium for all those years and you file a claim to make repairs on your home and they get you not to have the money. They keep that money. They tell you you're denied. They tell you only have coverage for this. So here's $1,000, and then the other 20 grand that you've paid them over the years is their profit.
Right.
So, you know, they don't like us because we keep winning.
Yeah.
You know, we win and we make them pay out, and they're losing hundreds of thousands of dollars a year because we're making them pay what they're supposed to pay.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're kicking and screaming and crying, you know, throwing a fit because they don't want to pay. We're hurting their profit margins.
Right.
So
When-
does that mean why every year they go to the state, the commissioner, like, hey, can we raise their rates in the zip code because they're kicking our butts or what? Like,
No, I mean, the insurance commission is basically in the same spot that we are. They want people to be taken care of. So that's why Allstate, State Farm, like that's why they keep getting told no. But this year, Allstate just got approved for a 34% rate increase. Which is
34%.
34. Last
Bro.
year, State Farm went up 20%. This year, State Farm just got approved for another 30. And that's 50% in 2 years, and that's because the wildfires, you know, climate change, everything else is making it way worse in other places. So all of California is paying for it.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
so why have home insurance if you're not going to use it?
You guys.
Because you're just taking care of everyone else's house. You know.
Yeah.
Let's back it up here real quick. Run back those numbers.
Allstate got told no for 4 years on the rate increase, right? So they
Okay.
got hurt a little bit. And then this year, matter of fact, last week, they just got approved for a 34% increase. in
34% increase.
Your home
on
insurance, if you have Allstate, is going up 34% next year. If you have State Farm and you
That's
had them
January
this
1st.
year, usually it happens around the middle of the year.
Oh, okay.
Like July 1st, all the rates went up across the industry. That's like because
Oh,
they
okay.
ask in January and then they go through all the process and then they get approved and then it kicks in, right? So it usually takes a few months. So last year, it went up 20% for State Farm, and across the industry, the average was 12.5%. So no matter who you had, your insurance went up, whether you filed a claim or not.
Man.
So you might as well file the claim.
And if you guys are not doing anything about it, look at your house. Look at your house.
Seriously, if your roof is between the ages of 5 years old and 30 years old, you probably have some damage that was caused by the wind out here that I can use to help you get a full roof.
Yeah.
Then you have, and like I said, we're not chucking a truck. We're all over the country. We're in about 20 different states right now. So we help anybody from Florida to Cali to Texas to Minnesota,
Right.
Nebraska. We're everywhere. So we help people all over the country. But out here, being the California regional manager, I pretty much have 20-some people under me that help. I have a wide range of Southern California that my team covers.
Yeah.
Anywhere from, Thousand Oaks, Sherman Oaks area to Paris. You know what I mean? We cover everywhere.
Yeah.
So it really has become, and I hate to use the pun, but an evolution in the home insurance industry that the insurance companies are not happy about.
Right.
But they really, they have nothing to be upset about. They make billions and billions of dollars a year. You know what I mean? And that's from ripping off homeowners. I literally had a AAA investigator. I had a meeting with him 2 days ago. And he told me, he's like, well, we just want to make sure that, this homeowner is taken care of and not, they get their work done and that they're not ripped off. And I'm like, they're not ripped off. And I looked at him, I was like, bro, come on. I said right into his face, I said, I know the game, dude. I've been doing this a long time. I was like, my whole job is to make sure that you guys don't rip them off and you guys pay. And he's like, well, that's not true. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. That's why my job exists.
Right, because it's not like the insurance companies are calling the homeowners like, hey, is everything okay?
Yeah.
You guys need
like,
a new roof?
And yeah, I mean,
or they call third-party companies like me.
I know I'll
go
probably
out.
catch some flack online for this, but Nationwide is on your side is the most genius marketing con I've ever heard in my life because they're not on your side. They're on their investor's side. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there to what? Reach in your pocket and not give anything back? Like,
Right.
Good neighbors share back, right?
It's crazy because they do have like this. They put on like this friendly face.
Yeah.
Like all those models,
Yep.
like you just said.
Yep, exactly. And then, if something really bad happens and it's obvious that like your house burned down, like, all right, cool. Like they're going to take care of you. Yeah. But if it's not obvious and it's not something that you just know the rules to, like I said, it's like going to court without a lawyer. The other side knows all the rules. They know all the lingo. They know how to twist the policy. They're going to do it. And if you don't know how to argue it, you're like, oh, I don't know, Your Honor. You're going to end up losing, And that's why, just last week I signed up 2 next-door neighbors who both had 2 different insurance companies. And they filed a claim before, months ago, and they were told that the estimate for damage was below deductible, which means the first $1,000 is on you, right? The first $1,500 is on you. Anything else the insurance covers. Of course it's below deductible. It's always going to be below deductible because that means you guys don't have to pay anything, right? So the trick that we teach them is that just because they opened coverage and says, yeah, there's one piece of damage that we admit we see, right? Okay, it's $100. Your deductible's $1,000. That means it's below deductible.
That means you pay for it.
Well, I can't repair that because I can't find these tiles anymore, or I can't use that shingle anymore, or they don't even make this shingle anymore. Well, now ordinance and law coverage comes into it, and now that's for all your building codes. If you had an electrical fire in the wall and the electrical inspector comes by and says, you got to rewire this whole house, that's what ordinance and law coverage is for. So when the inspector comes by and says, can't use the shingle anymore, can't do a repair, you need to replace the whole roof, that's where that comes in. So if you have that coverage, they sell that on every policy in California. But adjusters don't know about building codes, which is insane to me. Why do you sell something you don't know?
Right.
Then again, there are contractors that don't know building codes.
True.
Like,
True.
Oh, I got $2,000 from my insurance company. I hired this guy to come patch my roof, and I'm like, why didn't he get you a whole roof? Well, he could. I'm like, well, he obviously didn't know building codes. I met that guy 2 weeks ago. It's an actual case, and it was State Farm. He got a repair. I went up and found a bunch of extra damage that they missed, and I called for a reinspection. Now we're going to reinspect his house with the adjuster, and we'll get him a full roof.
Who pays for the reinspection?
The insurance company. It's really just a matter of we call and we take the same claim number you had from the original one. We take over the claim as we have our public adjuster take over at it.
Hey Joe, we do have a caller. You want to check in, see if they're good, but continue on.
And
Charles.
then once we say, hey, we know you guys gave a little bit for this, but we noticed a bunch of damage that the original insurance adjuster missed. You know, can we have a re-inspection on this? And they're like, yeah, send us pictures of the damage we missed, and we'll go out and do a re-inspection. So now I'll go out there and meet the adjuster for a second inspection, make sure he sees everything, make sure the homeowner's represented and doesn't have to answer any stupid questions. You know, because a homeowner will say something stupid without realizing they're saying something stupid.
Right. Yeah.
They're going to say,
Right.
and every time you talk to the insurance company, it's a deposition. If they can find something to use against you, they're gonna. And that's the whole point of that call. Oh, well, do you have any stains on the ceiling? Yeah, I have a stain on my ceiling. Well, how long's that been there? Well, like 2 years. Not covering that now, you know? And that's the thing is I tell them, look, I'm your lawyer in a deposition, essentially. Let me, as the contractor, talk to them about scope of work. Don't say anything. You don't have to. That's why we have the public adjuster.
Don't even
taking
be at the
care of it.
house.
Yeah, like you could be there. If we have to go inside the house to see internal damage, then yeah, you got to be there.
Is that
'cause you got
often?
to let us in. Not really. I mean, most of the time, if we only have to go on the roof, the homeowners need to be there. They can. Some people like to be there, but I'm there to represent you. So there's no reason for you to even be there.
Yeah.
You know, and you know sometimes, you know, like I said, homeowners say something that they didn't understand was going to get used against them, and then they wonder why they didn't get anything from their insurance.
Yeah.
You told me I can get a new roof. Well, I also told you not to say anything.
Yeah, like and you know, it's not a game that we're playing. It's just a matter of, you know, knowing the rules of the game.
Yeah, and using the money that they paid into their insurance correctly.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's I always equate it to for people. I'm like, everybody knows about taxes. Everybody knows how rich people don't pay it. Like,
Yeah.
don't end up paying any taxes at the end of the year. That's because somebody said, "Hey man, let me teach you a secret. This is how the game is actually played." If you don't know how to play the tax game, like every Joe Schmo, you know, that we didn't learn that stuff in school, so
No.
we're gonna just pay our taxes.
We're gonna get taxed.
But if you know how to play the tax game and you play it correctly, you end up with no taxes. You know, that's why people who make 6 figures a year sometimes end up with a tax return. How's that happen?
Yeah.
Because they know how to do it.
Yeah.
You know, guilty as charged. I'm just saying, like, it happens, you know?
Yeah.
And if you know how to play the insurance game, the right way, your insurance company will be able to cover it. They have the money. The money's there. Make them pay.
Yeah.
If not, you're going to get screwed.
Plus,
Either way.
they're raising your rates every year anyway. So you
Exactly. Exactly. And
34% is insane.
yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, the
it
fact that
blew
State
my
Farm,
mind when he told me that. I was like, yo.
State Farm went up 50% in 2 years. That's nuts. Like, why?
Yeah.
Because of all the wildfires, because of climate change, and to be frank, corporate greed. It's
Yeah,
just what
no,
it is,
that's,
you know.
That's another. That's like 45% of the 50%.
Yeah,
that they're
like
giving up.
it's just corporate greed. It's not like you guys don't have the money, especially since you cover like half the country.
Right.
Yeah, no,
You
no
have
kidding.
you have half the country, dude. You have billions of people that pay you money every year.
You know what's crazy is like now that we're officially out of the drought last year, wildfires have gone down like 78%.
Yeah, yeah. Last couple of years was really bad. Now it's
Yeah.
not so bad.
And
you know?
now you're finding these issues where now people are starting to be like, we don't want to insure people anymore. We don't want to write out new policies
Yeah.
because now there's nothing to write.
Exactly. Yep. Exactly. Exactly. And that's the thing. Like
Yeah.
out here, the whole like stopping writing new policies or like stopping business in Cali, that's new to California.
Right.
Florida sees that every other year
Yeah.
from 1 or 2 different insurance companies. Because when the insurance company has, you know, a hurricane goes through Florida, and State Farm and farmers lose $3 billion over, you know, the coast of Florida, well, obviously the only way to stop that bleeding is to stop taking on new people
Yeah.
or trick people into not taking what they're supposed to take from their insurance company, right? So
Right.
after they half-heartedly take care of people, I'm not going to say they don't, but after they take care of some people, and then some people want to get insurance and they want to switch to State Farm, or they buy a home and they call State Farm to get insurance, they just refuse them.
Right.
You know, that's the only other way to stop the bleeding. You know, so they do it all the time, and they'll do it for a year, and then they'll start writing new policies again. They just open it back up. All they did was put a Band-Aid on the financial bleeding for a minute. This is
Yeah,
new to
pretty much,
California.
yeah.
They've
So-
never seen this before. You know.
Man, you know, you were talking about Florida. I kind of like spaced out. I was thinking about something else. Why are they stopping new policies from continuing? Aren't they getting more money from home.
Well, the more homes, especially in Florida, where they're going to get a hurricane every year, right? Especially now that climate change is causing more hurricanes,
Yeah.
they know they're going to get hit. So if they have less people they insure in that area when they get
have to-
hit,
less
there's less
people pay
money
out.
coming. Exactly. So if they just sign on 1,000 new people on the coast of Florida, and then those 1,000 people plus the 1 million people they had already got hit, now they just lost $1 million more. you know?
Okay. Yeah, that makes so
So,
much more
so they
sense,
stop
yeah.
the bleeding by cutting the clientele down.
Right.
Anybody who doesn't bundle, probably going to get a letter of non-renewal if you file a claim.
Yeah.
Right? And that's the other thing that people are worried about. Well, I don't want my insurance to drop me. Well, I always tell them, look, Mr. Homeowner, one of two reasons that they're doing you a favor in that case. One, why would you want to be with an insurance company that said, get out of here the first time you needed something and kick you to the curb? That's
Right.
not the point of insurance. You're supposed to know that you're taken care of, right? So the first time you need something, they're like, get out of here.
Right.
You know what I mean? Why would you want that? That's like taking back a girl who cheats on you. She did you the favor by teaching you not to take her back, right? Oh, well, this guy took my girl. No, he did you a favor, right? The other reason is, you know, like, not only do you not want to be with somebody who's going to take care of you, but once you have a brand new roof on your house is now considered a lower risk for any other insurance company because they know your roof is brand new. They're not going to have to worry about it for another 20 years. It's not going to be a loss that you're going to make a claim on for 20 years. So that
Right.
makes you a safer bet for them.
Yeah.
So once you get a new roof, even if they didn't drop you or give you that letter of non-renewal, my last step for all of my homeowners is call around 3 or 4 different insurance companies and get a quote. When they ask you your questions, just answer honestly. When they get to the roof, tell them it's brand new. That's immediately going to get you a lower quote than you have because you got your current quote 15 years ago.
Yeah.
With a 3-tab roof, with an older roof. Now the roofing is much better.
Yeah.
It's much more durable. It's UV resistant. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
way more wind resistant. The roofs I put on now from GAF have a 130 mile an hour wind warranty.
Right.
It would literally take a hurricane to take off your roof in California now.
Nice.
So they're never going to have to take that roof into consideration when they give you insurance.
I like that.
So then you go back to farmers and say, hey, you know, Allstate or, you know, Liberty Mutual gave me this quote. I need you to re-underwrite my policy. And if you can't match this quote, I'm going to Liberty Mutual. They will match the quote most of the time, especially if they're a
Liberty Mutual?
smaller company.
No, whoever you have.
Your current one. You know, your current,
Yeah.
you know, if say you have State Farm
I
and you
see.
go around to Farmers and Allstate and AAA and you get 3 or 4 different quotes, then you go back to your insurance company and say, hey, I just had my roof redone. Can you re-underwrite my policy? Their quote, if it doesn't match the other one, you just tell them, look, I'm going to leave. They'll drop that couple dollars a month or that $150 a year to keep you most of the time, especially the smaller ones because they have
need you.
they have a smaller clientele. They need you. Yeah, they need that premium. Yeah.
Right.
And that's going to help a lot when your quotes go up 34% next year.
Oh my
Exactly.
God, that is so crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, you guys, I know you guys are enjoying the show, enjoying the conversation, enjoying the talk, and obtaining a lot of knowledge from Mr. Travis Matthews here, talking about roofing and insurance. But we are going to be taking a quick 5-minute break, so just hang tight. You know, hit that exit, do another loop. You listen to us anywhere you want. You guys listening to What It Works on KCA 1050 AM and Express 106.5 FM. I'm Sam Works,
I'm Kyle Kerrigan.
I'm Travis Matthews.
and we'll be back in 5 minutes.
Hey, feeling good, like I should. When in dark, I walk around the neighborhood. Feeling blessed, never stressed. Got that sunshine on my Sunday best. Yeah, hey, every day can be a better day despite the challenge. All you gotta do is leave it better than you found it.
From the Bureau of Economic Geology, this is Earth Date. The day after Christmas in 2004, a tsunami swept over Indonesia, Thailand, and 12 other countries. It killed more than 230,000 people in the most lethal natural disaster in recorded history. Most of us remember the news footage from those grim days. What you may not remember is that the tsunami was caused by an earthquake. Scientists now know it was the most powerful earthquake in 40 years, a 9.3 on the Richter scale. Its epicenter was below the ocean floor, about 100 miles west of Sumatra. The quake had the longest duration ever recorded, about 10 minutes of continuous motion as the Earth's crust ripped to form a 50-foot cliff on the seafloor. The tear continued moving north for almost an hour, finally extending more than 750 miles. It was the huge volume of water displaced by this movement that caused the tsunami. The quake shook the ground everywhere on the Earth and triggered powerful aftershocks and earthquakes as far away as Alaska. The entire planet vibrated for weeks. GPS data showed changes in the surface of most of the eastern hemisphere. Masses inside the Earth shifted, which moved the location of the North Pole by an inch. Even the shape of the globe changed, very slightly, but enough to increase its rotational speed and shorten the length of the day by 3 microseconds. December 26, 2004 was a shocking day in Earth's history, for humans and the planet itself. I'm Scott Tinker, and this is Earth Date.
Earth Date is produced by the Bureau of Economic Geology at the University of Texas at Austin. Earth Date is researched by Julie Hennings, written by Harry Lynch, and distributed by Mark Blunt and Casey Walker. For more stories, follow us on Facebook or visit earthdate.org.
Hi, I'm Kaylee Spear, a licensed agent with Litchfield Insurance Associates here in Beaumont. A large portion of Americans don't have life insurance or don't have enough. Whether you need a temporary policy, something to help with income during retirement, or making sure your final expenses are taken care of, having life insurance is an act of love and security for your whole family. Having a local trusted agent makes navigating through the sometimes complex world of life insurance so much easier. And I would love to be the one to help you. I'm Kaylee Spear. For your free consultation, people are calling 951-769-0005. 951-769-0005.
Hi, I'm Lanny Swerdlow, and I'm back on KCAA 1050 AM and Express 106.5 FM every Tuesday at 8 p.m. My show is Beyond Common Sense. It's Lanny Sense, featuring me, Lanny Swerdlow, KCAA's resident gay, Jewish, liberal, pot-smoking, race-mixing, left-handed atheist, an evangelical, fundamentalist, Christian, nationalist, worst nightmare, with subjects that no one else will touch in quite the same way. Every Tuesday at 8 p.m. on Express 106.5 FM, the Legacy 1050 AM, and live streaming on KCARadio.com.
Hey, feeling good, like I should. When in Durga, walk around the neighborhood. Feeling blessed, never stressed. Got that sunshine on my Sunday best.
Welcome back, everybody. I hope you guys enjoyed your 1 minute break. That's what it felt like, but I guess time flies when you're having fun. You listen to Whatever Works on KCAA 1050 AM and Express 106.5 FM. I'm your host, Sam Works.
I'm Kyle Kerrigan.
And I'm Travis Matthews.
Man, you might as well just be another co-host, bro, because you know the cues, you sound good.
That's cool. I love hanging out with you guys, man.
Yeah, it's great. Hey, if you guys are just tuning in, we have Travis Matthews here from Evolve
Construction.
Evolve Construction. He says it best. Man, there's so much that we talked about the first half. I highly recommend you guys go check it out. Go back, listen to it. You guys can go back on Apple Music, Spotify,
Audible,
all that good stuff,
Yeah.
and just look up KCAA,
YouTube.
Whatever Works, and find today's date, September 1st, 7 p.m. is when the show starts. You guys missed a lot if you guys didn't tune in the first half hour, but that's okay because we still got another 20 minutes left, and we're gonna do a little recap. You want to do a little recap?
It's cool. So essentially what we do at Evolve is that, we have a public adjuster that we use to make sure that when people file a home insurance claim that they're not essentially screwed over by the insurance. The insurance is a business. They don't want to pay you money. They got profit margins and, shareholders to make money for. So their goal when you file a claim is to come out and find reasons not to pay you. Our job is unfortunate that it even has to exist, but our job is to make sure you don't get screwed over by your insurance. We make sure you get what you're supposed to get per the policy you signed. And home insurance is always written confusing on purpose.
Right.
You know, I've actually been the person to open that packet of paperwork for people. They've never even opened it.
Yeah.
So they have no idea. So how are they supposed to fight insurance companies if they don't even know the rules, right? And then even if they have read it, they don't understand it. It's written confusing, and there's more about what's not covered than what is covered when you actually read it. It's like, well, we don't cover this, we don't cover that, we don't cover this. And that's because insurance policies are exactly the same all the way across the country when you break it down, right? Industry, the whole industry, their company doesn't matter, type of insurance doesn't matter. It's all the same. The only thing that makes it different is the exclusions and the inclusions. So if your roof is excluded because it's 50 years old and they knew your roof was junk, they're going to exclude it. You know, they give it a Article 5 endorsement. That means it's only covered under fire or lightning damage.
See, and if you guys are good homeowners, you guys would have someone like Travis Matthews to keep you up to date on the regulations and all the laws and all the provisions, saying, hey, you know, your roof is about to expire. You had your roof for over 30 years. Well, guess what? If you don't get a new roof because your roof does look damaged, you're being what do they classify?
A negligent homeowner.
Negligent homeowner. Man, I'm doing good, bro.
You're doing all right, man. See, he learning already. It's all good.
Yeah,
And
and one of the misconceptions, right, that Travis was talking about earlier on the first half was like, oh, my rate's gonna go up if I go through my insurance.
Yeah, and when we buy home insurance, we buy it once most of the time, right?
Yeah.
When we buy car insurance, you get it every other year when you get a new car, right? So car insurance is how people think when they think insurance. Insurance means I have to pay a higher premium, I got to pay a deductible, and it's going to make me look bad. And, you know, the more claims I have on my car insurance, the higher it's going to be because I look like a dangerous driver, right? But home insurance is controlled by the state. It has nothing to do with individual records. It has to do with where you live, what state you live in. The company doesn't matter. The rate is going to be, the whole concept is the same.
Right.
So you could live in a house for 40 years and never file a claim. It's still going to go up every other year. You know, it has nothing to do with claims. So, you know, like I always say to my homeowners, my first job and my first agenda is to teach you. I'm going to educate you on how insurance really works and how there may be something damaged on your home that is coverable under your insurance, whether you knew it or not, you know? And, you know, it makes it, I like it because, you know, it's not a sale. I'm not trying to sell you something. The economy stinks right now. Nobody has money, especially 30 grand for a roof. And if you've never bought a roof before, or you bought one 15 years ago, you don't realize that roofing goes up 8% quarterly. 4 times a year it goes up 8%. So 15 grand for a roof today is 20 grand for a roof next year.
Right.
Like, and people who haven't bought a roof in 15 years, they hear, oh, what's 30 grand? You're like, I bought this roof for 6 grand. I'm like, yeah, that was 20 years ago. Like,
Yeah.
20 years ago, buddy.
8% quarterly over the last 20 years, bro. Like, now it's 30 grand. The average roof out here, you know, the average claim that we have is like $25,000. Who has $25,000 laying in the bank?
Right.
A $500 emergency would break 40% of America.
Yeah.
Like, who has that? So our goal is to make sure that, you know, it costs you your deductible or less. You know, I mean, you know, if we can get referrals and stuff like that, we can give credits, stuff like that. But, you know, people always talk about, well, can't you just eat my deductible? No. There are roofing companies that do that all over the place too.
Right.
And that's the other thing is, like, that's insurance fraud. You can't do that.
Yeah.
Because you signed a contract that says you have to pay $1,000 or $500, $1,500, whatever it is. That first $1,000 is on you. Anything after that, the insurance will cover.
Yeah.
If we were to, you know, hypothetically, if we said, yeah, I'll just won't collect your deductible, that's fine. Well, then with a company this size, you're getting audited every year. We do $40-50 million a year. So we're obviously audited every single year. So if our books say we did a $30,000 job and we only collected $29,000 for it, it's going to look bad, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So that makes our books off. Or the other way that roofing companies will do it is they will collect. They'll say, okay, we'll just eat the deductible. Well, they're just going to bill the insurance for $1,000 extra somewhere. That's insurance fraud.
Yeah.
You can get a lot of trouble for that. That's a felony. I'm not going to do that.
Right.
But yeah, does it cost $500 to $1,000? Yeah, but you're getting a $30,000 job done for $1,000. You already paid the money. Let's just get it out of the piggy bank and use it for what it's for. Otherwise, they're just taking your money so that they can keep it. and then you're
Right,
just
yeah.
paying. You know, you lived in this house for 40 years. You paid $1,500 to $2,000 a year. You know, that's 80 grand. You bought 4 roofs with that.
Right.
And
You've already paid
you
for
don't
it.
have one. You don't have a
Yeah,
new
and you
roof.
still don't have a roof. Yeah, I have one homeowner over in Harupa Valley that in the last 15 years he's put 3 roofs on his house. The current roof is only 6 years old,
Yeah.
and the winds up there are crazy. So it came through and it ripped off a section on the back of his house, and he was thinking, "Oh, I got to go, put another roof on." No, you don't. Like, you already did that, and you've lived in this house for 20 years. Let me help you get them to pay for the whole thing.
Yeah.
And now, we make them pay for the whole thing. Of course, it's Mercury, so it's a fight, but
yeah. Oh, trust me, I don't.
Mercury is I always say Mercury is the biggest pain in my butt. They're like my arch nemesis.
They're a pain to deal with.
Yeah, they always want to send out a roofer, right? And first of all, we're the roofer doing it. You don't need an estimate from anybody but us. That whole get 3 estimates, that's a con, because the insurance company is going to take the lowest one. Doesn't matter what kind of Mickey Mouse job they're going to do.
Yeah.
Like, if you get a $15,000, $16,000, and $20,000 job, quotes,
Yeah.
the insurance company's not going to give you 20 grand. They're going to give you 15.
Right.
And then they're going to take your deductible off, and now they give you 14.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, and it doesn't matter if it's truck in a truck, and they do a Mickey Mouse job, and they don't use enough nails because you're in a high wind area, and they only put 4 nails instead of 6. Like, you got to know that you're with the right person. And
Yeah.
when somebody asks me for a retail quote, I tell them straight out. I say, look, man, if you're looking for the most rock bottom price for a roof, it's not going to be me. I promise, because we're not going to cut corners to win your business.
Yeah.
And we're not going to, cut safety corners and not do OSHA regulation and we're not going to do that.
Right.
There's all kinds of places I could save money and give you and beat that guy's quote, but I'm not going to do it. And I tell them straight out, if there's a way I can help you by, finding coverable damage under your insurance policy, I'm here to help. But I'm not going to cut corners. I'm not going to play games. I'm not going to put myself and my family at risk.
You're not
to
going to eat
help
the
you.
deductible.
I'm not eating deductibles. I'm not playing
I'm
silly
not that
games.
hungry, dude.
Yeah, like, I'm not playing games with the insurance company. Like, yes, I'm on the other side. I'm against them. I'm for you, but you don't have to cheat. Like, there literally is no reason to cheat.
Right.
We're playing the rules the way it is, and we're making sure that the insurance company is held accountable. That's, really the simplest way to put it. We hold them accountable to what they said they were going to do when they gave you this contract to sign. And that's, I always tell people it's insane and crappy that my job even has to exist.
Right.
Right? But it does. So that's why we're here, and they get the lawyer thing. Like, as soon as you say, like, look, you're not going to go to court against somebody who's suing you without a lawyer, you're going to end up owing them money, right? So why go up against an insurance company who has a whole team of lawyers whose job it is to find out reasons to not pay you without someone who knows how to make them pay, right? So, and that's kind of where we come in. Am I an insurance adjuster? No, but I know the rules, and I have a licensed public adjuster that we use when we need information.
Yeah.
So we have a whole team of people. And when the insurance company wants to fight, which is what they've really started to do lately.
They do that all the time. That's their job, is to fight.
Exactly. So when we feel that the insurance is putting up too much of a fight and we need, bigger guns, we have a whole law firm called California Insurance Attorneys that the only thing they do is home insurance law. They don't spread their, manpower between other types of law. That's all they do.
Right.
And of tens of thousands of cases, only less than 1% have ended up in court. So we have the lawyers. We give them to you free of charge. Everything is on a contingency. So if we fail at getting your roof, you don't owe us anything.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't do our job. It's just like a lawyer works on a contingency. If you don't win, I don't win.
Yeah.
If you don't get a roof, I don't make any money. So for me to come to your door and waste time convincing you to file a claim that's going to take me, 6 weeks to work on, and I'm not going to get anything anyway, why would I waste my time? Why would I waste your time?
So how do you get paid?
Well, I get paid when the job is done. Like, we have to get it approved. The contingency agreement that we sign with the homeowner as a construction company, in black and white on the front page, it says this is subject to insurance approval. It doesn't obligate you or us to do anything or pay anything. So you're not obligated to pay us anything. We're not obligated to even do the work. We're just saying that if we get you your roof covered, we get a full roof replacement for you, we're the contractor of choice. That's it. The second it gets approved, we're the contractor of choice, and then we'll get them to pay the rest of the money. If we were to fail at doing that, this is null and void. So there's no reason to worry about signing anything or what am I putting my signature on? It's a contingency agreement, and it's in black and white that it's subject to approval.
So the homeowners pay you guys once the job is complete?
Yeah, the deductible goes to the contractor just like it would go to the mechanic at the body shop for a car.
Oh,
you know?
I didn't know where the deductibles went.
So you know, and that's what it is you're self-insuring up to this amount, $500, $1,000. You know, that's the average out here is about $1,000. So up to $1,000, you pay that. If it costs anything more than $1,000, that's where the insurance kicks in. So to not collect that $1,000 deductible is just hurting our pocket, right? So and you have to legally, you signed a contract that says you will. So yeah, you pay $1,000, but then we get the other $30,000 paid for. You know, you're not coming out of pocket. It gives you the price lock guarantee. I like to tell them is that it gives you the price lock guarantee of your deductible, nothing more. Not a penny more. Anything else, and then it says, you know, supplemental claims. Anything we rip open the roof and realize there's bad decking and it has to be replaced, and the city inspector comes out and says, well, this section of decking needs to be replaced. Well, good. We build the insurance company. We're not coming to you for it. There's no secrets. There's no surprises. You know, we're not going to rip open the roof and then fight the insurance company for 3 months and leave a tarp on your house with a hole in your roof that we put there. Like, we're going to get all the money for the insurance, and then once it's all here, then we'll order the material online. It all goes to a third-party escrow, like when you buy your home, so it's all safe and secure. We order the material online from Beacon or AVC. They give us a digital invoice. We send it to the escrow. They pay them, and they deliver the material to your house. So we don't ever touch material. We don't touch money. We don't touch any of that until it's all done. Once it's done, once it's all there, we come and do the job. We have you sign a certificate of completion that says, yes, Evolve did my roof. You know, State Farm, you can pay them directly the recoverable depreciation, you know, and that's where we actually get our money. You know, like everything up to that is just material and labor and stuff like that. We're paying our contractor, you know, our crew. We have our own contractors. We don't really sub out. But the company itself doesn't make anything until the job is complete. So it takes away all the trust issues. You know, there's so many times somebody's like, I gave Joe 10 grand for material and he never came back and now I'm out 10 grand. What do I do? You know, we're never touching your money. Right. We're going to get that check from the insurance. You and the public adjuster are both going to sign it. It's going to go into a trust account. It's going to wait. You know, whether it takes 6 weeks or 6 months, it's going to wait, you know? And, you know, now that I've basically been made the liaison for all the files that need to go to the California insurance attorney's firm. So it all goes through me, you know, and then I have a direct line with them. I onboard the customer. They sign a retainer with them for a contingency, and then they give the insurance 30 days to pay out, or they file suit. Usually the insurance just folds, you know. I already got one with AAA, took 3 days. They ghosted me for 3 months. I put the attorneys on it. 3 days later, they were like, "Do you have if we went from full denial to, so do you have an estimate for the replacement?"
Now you're willing to.
Now you want to talk because a lawyer.
So now there's damage.
Yeah. Now there's wind damage, right? So, I mean, when you think about it, it's simple. Any lawyer, they all talk about their records, right? But the numbers are skewed. They're not taking on a case that they can't win.
Right.
They're going to review it first and then decide, yeah, this is a winnable case. Now I'll take your case on. So that's why they all have unbeatable records.
Yeah.
Right?
Because they fold every time.
Exactly. So once and if a lawyer took it on and signed somebody on, they're gonna win. They already know they're gonna win. So when the insurance company gets a letter of representation from a law firm that says, hey, you need to pay this or we're going to file suit because you definitely should have paid this out. This is not a denial and or you opened coverage, but then you haven't answered. You've been unresponsive. That's not okay, right? Yeah. So you have 30 days to pay out and settle this or we're going to file suit. They just fold. They're like, well, it's going to cost us way more money to fight this in court and still pay than just pay. Right? So they're just going to pay. And that's kind of what happened with that case. Because
they're kind of just waiting for the homeowners to just give up.
Exactly.
Or do something themselves.
Just like any lawsuit, you know, the team with more money, that side is going to make the other side wait. and pay lawyer fees and billable hours, and they're just going to they're going to drag it out as long as they can until you either run out of money or patience, right? And that's the same deal. I mean, unfortunately, I have claims that took 10 months, 11 months,
Right.
you know, and it was before we had the claim pay situation set up with, you know, the attorneys, and it was just kind of why we started doing it, because up until last year, I mean, literally, you could go to a claim and have, you know, State Farm or Farmers or Allstate out, their adjuster comes out, looks at the damage and says, all right, cool, I see some damage. He'll go out in his van for 20 minutes and write an estimate, and if it's above deductible, he cuts a check on the spot. And that's usually how it works. But this year, you know, this past year, they've really buckled down. I mean, I didn't actually have that happen to me until like a month ago.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, where's this? Where's all these people talking about? Like, oh, they're writing checks on the spot. Like, I'm
That's
like,
not happening.
no, they're not. Right? So the estimates that I did get though were right below deductible. Deductible's
Right.
$1,000. Estimate comes to $940. Well, we don't know anything. Well, of course you don't.
Right.
Of course that's below deductible. But then, you know, I find more damage, and we tell them, look, because of building codes, ordinance and law coverage kicks in, we have to do a whole roof, so the estimate is way over deductible. Like, you guys are on the hook now. And, you know, I could tell my homeowners, it's like we just need to give them enough rope to make a noose, and then we just yank on it, right? So we let them decide, okay, yeah, there's some damage. Even if it's below deductible, they've opened the door. Now we just walk through with the
Yeah.
building codes. You know, we walk through with our estimate and our building codes.
I mean, like, pretty much all you need is a claim number, because then that means something's open at the agency.
yeah.
and
if
once
they,
you have
if
that
they
claim
fully
number-
deny you,
Yeah.
and they say, yeah, we didn't find any damage, then you have a right to a second opinion. Just like if a doctor says, I got to cut your knee open.
Right.
You know, you got to have a right to a second opinion. If they give you an estimate that says, okay, well, we estimated at $4,000, but you know you need a whole roof, then that's where the supplement comes in, where we say, okay, well, we have to supplement this claim for another $14,000, right?
Right.
And, of course, they don't want to pay that, so they're going to ghost you, right? Because they know the rules. They know they open coverage,
Yeah.
or they're going to try and deny it, or, well, I have to call the building inspector, and I have to do research and stuff, because they don't know about building codes, which is weird. Why would you sell ordinance and law coverage and not know anything about building codes?
Yeah.
I've met 2 out of 100 adjusters that knew about building codes.
Yeah, it's wild.
It's insane.
Wow.
I met an adjuster. I had to bring an adjuster out to a property, and he was just hired. He was in training. I said, "So where's your training manager?" Oh, he's in Escondido. I was like,
So you got the new guy.
I was like, so, okay, so what do you know? It's like, oh, well, my license is, his license just got active, like, that day.
It's my first day. I don't know.
And,
It's a ride along. And my trainer is out in Escondido.
and so I actually do want to say it was Mercury.
Yeah.
Who sent this guy out, who had no idea what he was doing, and he's calling a whole bunch of people, and it's...
Doesn't work out.
Yeah, and I always tell homeowners, sometimes it may not be the adjuster's fault. They may have been the new guy that got sent out on his own.
Hey, you guys, I'm sorry we gotta end this show not early, but we gotta end this show, guys. My bad. But we'll be here next week. Hey, if you guys have any questions, contact Travis Matthews. Contact us for his information. But you'll give his number out right now.
Yeah, my number is 909-927-7466. Anytime between 8 and 8, I'll answer the phone.
All right, you guys. Hey, happy Sunday. Stay blessed and stick around for the Ferran Show at 8 o'clock. All right, guys.
Then you found it. It's gonna get difficult to stand, but hold your
Get all the
back.
facts, all you need to know on KCAA Radio.
This segment sponsored by our friends at the all-new Sammy's Restaurant. Sammy's is now open in Calamasa at Exit 88 off the 10 freeway next to the Jack in the Box in the former Bob's Big Boy Restaurant. Not to name drop, but Sammy's in the former Bob's is a lot like Norm's.